Привет, друзья! G'day guys, welcome to another Soviet Lands Reviews video. This one's going to be a bit different. I've just come back from a 2-week holiday to Kazakhstan. Went with my partner and we saw some amazing things there. And of course, I took a few Soviet lenses. So if you want to see what Kazakhstan looks like through the eyes of a Soviet lens, then, well, keep watching. Alrighty, so guys, first off, what lenses did I bring to Kazakhstan? Let's run through that really quick. I wanted to pack light, so I packed two lenses, one 50mm Era 6M f1.5. Again, I wanted to bring this one. It's a bit of a rare lens, very sharp lens as well, and I knew that I would be taking lots of landscapes. And that brings me to the next lens that I took, which was the MC Mir 20N, 20mm f3.5 on the Nikon mount. I've adapted that to my Nikon Z6 with a Leica M adapter, and I wanted to take this lens because I knew that I would be taking a few kind of landscape wide angle shots. I was thinking about doing some vlogging. I didn't end up doing too much vlogging on this, but got a few photos to show you nonetheless. I ended up going to flying into Almaty in the south of Kazakhstan, the biggest city, the former capital back when it was Alma-Ata in the Soviet Union. Almaty, amazing city, such a nice city to walk through. I tell you what, the Soviets, they designed that city pretty bloody well, and took a few snaps there throughout Almaty. There's lots of nice little kind of landmarks and things like that there. You know, we saw a monument to Victor Tsoi for any Soviet music buffs who might know his name, famous Soviet kind of rock star. And yeah, we saw lots of other kind of cool Soviet architecture there. It's hard to actually get the scale of that Soviet architecture, but hopefully a few of these snaps you can kind of get a little bit of a feel, but really it is an amazing city. Next up though, we ended up going out to the wilds of Kazakhstan. That's where I really got the good shots that I was hoping to get. So first up, the shots we got at Black Canyon. Black Canyon is just out of Almaty, a couple of hours, and we stopped on the side of the road, got these shots, and it's just this oasis with amazing canyon with a river that's flowing through it. The river kind of spawns these bright green trees on either side of it, and it is a pretty impressive landscape. Next up though, we continued our tour and we ended up going to Lake Kayndi. So Lake Kayndi was originally not a lake. About 100 or a bit over 100 years ago, a massive earthquake hit, and in effect it kind of turned the area into a lake. But also what it did was that earthquake petrified the pine trees that were standing up in the kind of valley there, and those pine trees are still standing up today in a petrified state in the middle of the lake. So it's a very cool spot. I would definitely recommend you to go to Lake Kayndi if you are trekking to Kazakhstan or if you're traveling to Kazakhstan. It is a bit of a big trek though to get to Kayndi from the little car parking area that we parked at. Either way, it was really, really cool trek. Ended up staying at a homestay there near the lake and got up the next morning to take some more photos. We ended up heading to Lake Kolsai in the afternoon actually, and that was one of 3 lakes as part of Lake Kolsai. We only went to the first one, but as you can see, just an amazing lake. That kind of really typical, it really does look European, that landscape where you've got these beautiful mountains. The scenery in Kazakhstan was simply beautiful. Next up, we went to Charin Canyon. Charin Canyon, again, kind of, it passes down through and I think links to Black Canyon in some way, but overall it's just this amazing canyon that you can walk right down. We walked down there, got a few shots. We were, you know, some of the only tourists there, and that is another must go if you're traveling to Kazakhstan because they've done it up so well. There's a brand new visitors center there as well that sells some pretty cool merch, and everything is in English as well, which is quite rare in Kazakhstan. So it was a nice place to kind of just explore and see. You know, we don't really have any canyons like that in Australia, and it is known as kind of the Grand Canyon's little brother for a reason. Very impressive. And next up though, we ended up catching a sleeper train, not a Soviet sleeper train, a modern sleeper train from Almaty to Astana, Kazakhstan's capital, and saw some of the architecture there. You can see these photos in Astana. Very impressive modern architecture, of course. The new buildings, they're impressive buildings, and you know, there's no two ways about it. It kind of almost feels like you're in, I don't know, Dubai. Not that I've ever been to Dubai, when you're in the capital there, because it's just like, you know, modern building after modern, you know, impressive building. Even a hotel was like a work of art, the actual architecture of it. Next up, we headed down to the city of Shymkent. Didn't get too many photos there, but you know, definitely enjoyed a lot of the delicious local cuisine. And also Georgian cuisine, which is very popular in Kazakhstan, and you can't really go wrong with a shashlik over there. All of the food actually, and all of the meat in Kazakhstan was just delicious. Really good food. Next up, we headed back to Almaty and kind of ended our trip there walking through the city. And, you know, look, I hope these photos do the country some justice, but overall, it was one of the best trips I've ever had in my life. Really had to use my Russian, my limited Russian that I knew, because not many people in Kazakhstan, even, you know, even young people to an extent, don't really speak English over there. So you do need to, at the very least, know the Cyrillic alphabet. If you know that, though, if you know a little bit of Russian, or of course Kazakh, definitely would recommend you have a trip over to Kazakhstan. I already am looking forward to the next time I get the chance to go, probably once they finish off the new Almaty airport that they're building, because that was a bit of a schmozzle there with the traffic. But look, overall, Kazakhstan is a fantastic country, very modern, and I would highly recommend any of you who are watching this video and thinking about going to a post-Soviet country, look, do not hold back from choosing Kazakhstan, because it is pretty epic. Thank you though, guys, very much for watching. I hope this was a bit insightful, or at least you enjoyed the photos here that I managed to capture in Kazakhstan. Until the next video though, make sure you subscribe to Soviet Lens Reviews here on YouTube. I'll see you then.